This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
The views expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of WPSL. However, we're the ones that have encouraged you all along to like and share them with all your friends and neighbors on your favorite social network and over the fence next door. It's time for the science of caring, known as Careology. And here's your host, the one and only Roxy Brown.
Good morning, Cliff. Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. I did. I absolutely did nothing, Cliff, so that was great. One weekend I had that was totally just nothing on my calendar, and it felt good. Those of you who are listening, those of you who have come over from our Tuesday night show at 6 p.m., those of you who are new and listening to us 10 a.m. on Monday, welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Roxy, your carologist here on Careology, and we do one thing and we do it well. We provide you information that you can go and say, ooh, I didn't know that, and learn something new, as I do on this show every Monday, which I find just amazing, the things that I learn. And for those of you who are new, tuning in for the first time, Careology is a subsidiary of CareBag Incorporated, a nonprofit on the Treasure Coast and into Palm Beaches. And we do one thing well, and our mission is real. We provide access to proper hygiene to our homeless and our families in need, and we do that with dignity since 2017. And we are very proud of what we've accomplished. We have 2 mobile shower units. One is stationed in Fort Pierce, one is stationed in Martin County, and then we have our mobile hygiene pantry that goes to different areas through the Treasure Coast and Palm Beach, giving access to proper hygiene through diapers, Depends, deodorant, toothbrush, anything you used this morning when you came into your bathroom to take a shower. You didn't think about it, but we have thousands of families and children that have to think about, where do they get soap? Where do they get toothbrush? How do I put Pampers on my baby? How do I go to work as a woman with no feminine products? This is what we do. If you'd like to go ahead and find out any more about us, and we love your support, we're looking for volunteers, we're looking for support. You want to write a check to us, we would gladly accept it. We are a registered 501c3. Please go to givecarebag.com, and you can go right, it'll take you right to our website, our official website, and you can find out all about us. That is givecarebag.com. Today we have a really special show, and I'm really excited about it, but I just want to touch on a few things before we dive into our show, so I do not interrupt my special guest. You know, I love to talk about different things that happen, and I like to be very honest with all of you that watch me from social media down, and the thousands and different, what do we have, 46 different countries that are listening to us. So we love to give. I get good information from Greg. I'm waiting for him to look at me and go, no, so he hasn't run in here yet.
He knows how to look that stuff up.
Yeah, I think he told me we have over 40 something countries that listen to us, and we are happy. So that means a lot of people are getting our information. And if you want to look at us other than WPSL YouTube, you can go ahead and go to CareBag Inc. on Facebook page, and you can go ahead and you can watch us live. And we just say thanks to everyone that have been supporting us. We are really, really happy about that. So I just want to touch on something. We have 125 days until this year ends. And I can't believe we are going to be going into 2024. So my question to everyone that's within the sound of my voice, what have you accomplished? Because half of the year is already done. Mm-hmm. What have you accomplished that you can say, wow? I said to somebody yesterday or this morning, I said, when they read your obituary, will it be a blank page? And, you know, for some people, it went right over your head. But for those that didn't go over your head, I'm going to spell it out for you. When your obituary is my dad used to tell me, your obituary is a story of what you have accomplished in your life that other people could go and hear, share, read, and learn about. So when it is time for someone to read your page, will it be a blank page? What have you accomplished? I can't believe just 125 days left for this year to end. So what have you on a personal note accomplished? That is what is my question to you. So Careology, we're going to spark, we're going to make you feel a little bit uncomfortable because we want the people within the sound of our voice to know, let's get it together. There's so many people, that young people, older people, that are wasting their life away. The year is almost done. We are going to be going into 2024 in 125 days. You still have time to say, you know what? Boom, I have accomplished ABC, or I have accomplished A. So what have you accomplished in 2024? Because the year is done. In this year, August 28th in 1955, Emmett Till, a black teenager from Chicago, was abducted from his uncle's home in Money, Mississippi by two white men after he supposedly whistled at a white woman. He was found brutally slain 3 days later. So Emmett Till was a teenager, and the reason some people are like, Roxy, why are you talking about this? I'm talking about this because guess what? In the state of Florida, and in some other states, I've gone and piggybacked on what our crazy governor has just done, are not teaching black history. And people are not able to learn what the history is. Our history is what makes us do better. Our history is what makes us act better. Our history teaches us what not to do. And if our teachers aren't able to do it, by golly, welcome to Careology, because you're going to hear it on here. I'm going to give you some type of information that you can take back and you can share. We want to do facts. There's nothing wrong with shame of our history. That is what makes us grow. That's why we're not walking. That's why we're not using horse and buggy. Because of our history, we are able to advance. We learn from that, okay? So I'm going to give that to you. And also, for those of you who don't know, today was the day that Martin Luther King delivered his I Have a Dream speech. And I love that speech. It is so poignant. There's so many things that are in it that you would think he wrote it this morning. I listened to it this morning, and while I was listening to it, I was sitting there and I was like, wow. And my question was, how many of our children in our school, black, white, the whole color of the flipping rainbow, how many of them are not going to be able to hear this speech? That speech is poignant for every person that has breath in their body. And to know that some children might not ever hear that, I think it is such a disservice. Such a disservice. So if you're not really familiar with it, or you've been living under a rock and you know nothing about it, take time and go and listen to it. This man wrote this speech on years ago, and just imagine that it sounded like he wrote it today, this morning. And the fact that it is a phenomenal speech, it is even sadder that it sounds like it was written this morning. So I just wanted to go ahead and leave you guys with a couple of those things, before I go ahead. So he wrote the speech in 1963. 1963, he wrote the speech. And over 200,000 people listened to Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. deliver his I Have a Dream speech in front of the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. So that's in 1963. We got to do better. I'm not even going to go into it too much. I'm just going to say we got to do better. And again, I have a pulpit I can speak it from, so I'm going to speak it. Our children need to learn. And how we learn from examples. We learn from history. Every time your child does something, don't do that. The next day, they learn not to do that. You teach your child how to cross the street, look left and right. You don't say just walk. We teach, we learn from example. If they get on their bike and they fall, they get back up. Yesterday, they learned from their history. If I do this better, I'm going to do better. Our history should not be erased. I am telling everyone you're not going to erase me. And I think you erase so much of our generation if you go ahead and you are not teaching them properly. So I'm off my soapbox because I want to really get into with my guests right now, because I think that is extremely important. We are talking about incontinence. And I know some people are like, oh my God, Roxy, what are you doing? This is something that affects millions of individuals on a daily basis. So I've been doing my research during the week because I knew I was going to have my guests with me and I wanted to be prepared. And I found 10 surprising facts this morning. So, the first one I gave you, urinary incontinence affects millions of people. Some of you are sitting in your car, your windows are tinted, and you're sitting there shaking your head. Male and female, you're like, oh my God, yes. Yes, it does. Okay? So, up to 33% of adults in the United States suffer from this. That's millions of Americans. That's fact number one. Number two, urinary incontinence. A lot of people think, oh, it's just women. No, it affects both men and women. Okay? I'm not going to dive, I'm only going to give you three. Urinary continence is not a normal part of aging. Now, I'm going to leave that right there because you guys know what I said from 3 years now we've been doing this. I always say, if I don't have the facts, I'm going to find somebody with the facts. I'm never going to talk about something I don't know. I know a lot, but what I don't know, I find somebody that can go ahead and help us. So, good morning, Virginia.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm doing quite well, thank you so much.
I am going to have you introduce yourself because I'm not going to mess it up. You guys know I mess up names. I'm not going to mess up this one. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, listeners. I am Dr. Virginia Phipps, Phipps, pronounced like Gladys Knight and the Pips, except the first letter is pronounced as an F, Phipps. I am an internal medicine board certified physician as well as a functional medicine certified physician. I have a solo practice down on Military Trail in Jupiter, Florida, and I welcome all ages over 18 for care because I don't do pediatrics, and pediatrics is considered 18 and below 18
Below
years.
18.
Yes.
So I'm going to stop you right there because you said 18. So that lets me know that we have 18-year-old male or female individuals that are suffering from incontinence now.
Well, there could be some atypical manifestations.
Okay.
There's something called functional incontinence, right? And that could be secondary to a urinary tract infection or other type of infection. So it can manifest in those young people.
Okay. So when I was doing my research, I've listened to you talk. Both of us are members of the Association of Christian Business Women.
Correct.
I said it right.
Yes.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. So, and I heard you speak, and when I heard, I was like, ooh. I'm like, I want to share this with my people. I want to share this with my listeners because, if it's something good they need to know, because you said something and it stuck with me. So many people think this is normal. Please go ahead and just, expunge on that. Why so many people think this is a normal part of aging?
Well, unfortunately, because of the internal shame that some people have.
Right.
And not wanting to even discuss it with their doctors, they think, you know what, I'm getting older. Maybe this is what's supposed to happen with me.
Right.
But it's not. Right? Incontinence, there are different types of incontinence. There's something called stress incontinence, there's something called urge incontinence, and something called mixed, which can be a component of both stress and urge. As you get older, you do have some hormonal changes that occur that can help precipitate that incontinence, right? However, there are things that you can do naturally over time to prevent this from happening. Incontinence occurs due to age, menopause, andropause, gravity, and people who do excessive exercises, those kinds of things. The people who've had many childbirths or large childbirths. I mean, their children are over 9 pounds.
10, 11
exactly.
pounds.
Yes. So it can happen with all those things. But because there's something called Kegel contractions that if you're doing them religiously from the time you were pregnant until the time you deliver and the rest of the years of your life, you can definitely help reverse any potential incontinence. However, many people don't do it or don't understand how to do it, or they're not performing maximal contractions. So there are other tools that we can put in place to actually help them reverse those types of symptoms.
Boy, I made it my point of duty to talk to a couple individuals that I know and they're older, and it's just I wanted to really get to understand it, to have our conversation. I wanted to be well versed in
Of
our
course.
conversation. And I was talking to one lady, and she was like, I don't leave the house. She's like, I'm not leaving the house. She's like, thank God. She said, thank God for the pandemic, which allows her now to buy everything she needs to come home. And she said when she used to go out, she used to make sure when she woke up in the morning, she didn't have coffee, she didn't have juice. She said, I made sure I didn't even swallow the water when I brushed my teeth. That's how bad it was for her. And she'll pat it with the pens and she'll head out. But she said she was so worried about it when she does not wear pants anymore. She refused to wear pants. And some women and some men also are really, really suffering. And they don't know that. When I told her, I said, I want you to listen to the show. And I know she's listening. And she, I told her what you said. This is not normal.
Yeah.
So you were saying that about a chair, because I was telling her about this chair, and she was like, "Oh my goodness!" So talk a little bit about. Oh, you can lead up to that.
Okay. So incontinence affects over 200 million people in the world, over tens of millions of people here in the United States, and it's not something that you need to live with. Right? Like I said, there are fixes for it.
Right.
Now, if you think about how much money you spend on pads, you can spend upwards of $1,800, depending on the cost of the pad.
Right.
Because with inflation these days, it's probably a little bit more expensive.
Oh, yes.
But you can spend $1,800 a year just for those liners.
Yes.
Now, if you're wearing incontinence
The
underwear, right,
That's
that
another-
can go another. I mean, you can spend over $100,000 in 10 years. And if you've had your incontinence for 10 years, that's how much you've invested
Did.
in underwear.
Products.
Exactly.
Yep, in products.
Yes. So there's a way to fix it at a fraction of the cost, and that's where this amazing chair comes in. I mean, there are other ways of fixing it, but they're a little bit invasive. Some of them require something being put inside of you,
Yes.
which people
Yeah,
are
don't want
uncomfortable
that.
having
Yes.
strangers
Yes.
invade
Hello.
their private parts.
Like
Right?
talking to the choir.
Exactly.
Yes, you are. Yes.
So there is this innovative chair that's been around for the past 3 years. It's made by a company in Germany, and it's called the Emsella chair. Now, the
Emsella.
Emsella chair is a chair that you actually sit in, and you sit in it fully clothed, and you don't have to put anything inside of you. You just sit on a chair, and the chair has these electromagnetic pulses that come up through the base, and it simulates your Kegel contractions.
Oh.
Now, everybody here can do a Kegel contraction, right? I'm doing one right now. You can't tell,
Can't tell either.
right? So you sit.
Cliff is like, I'm trying, but it's not working.
So everybody can do a Kegel contraction. However, it's never maximal, and you can
Right.
never do enough
Enough.
of them to actually see the benefit, especially as you get older. Because not only does the pelvic floor loosen up and start falling down, right? It's the muscles are weak and thin, and so you don't have that power to do an effective
So,
contraction.
I'm going to pause you right there.
Sure.
So right now, some people are thinking, oh, yeah, it's just the women. Men,
No.
this is for you too. And that's what I've been telling a friend of mine. Men can do it also.
Yes.
You just got to open your mind. This is your pelvic is men and women. Both of us have it.
If
It's-
you take
yes.
away everything, it's the same bunch of muscles that
That's it.
sit down there in the floor to hold everything up.
Oh, there
Men
you
and
go.
women, you won't be able to tell except that the man has a penis and some testicles
That's it.
and a prostate.
That's it.
Yes.
We got a
Some-
doctor in the house, people.
Yes.
We're going to get good. I told you, I'm going to give you good information right
Yes,
now.
yes.
So, from doing this chair now, do you see the results? You see
I
the
have
results?
had great testimonials. My oldest patient to date is an 85-year-old female who came in with one of the typical symptoms that you see in men, but you can see it in women too. Getting up multiple times at nighttime to
Yeah.
urinate, 2 to 3 times per night, disrupting your sleep, putting you at higher risk of falling and getting a hip fracture. Right?
Yes.
So she was getting up multiple times, and she was actually having some bladder leakage during the daytime. After she received, I gave her 8 treatments on this chair. It takes 28 minutes each treatment, and she had total resolution of her symptoms. Same thing with an 83-year-old female of mine that had total resolution of her symptoms. And she had similar things of bladder leakage during the daytime and getting up multiple times at night. So we bypassed the multiple undergarments that they were using, and we bypassed their high risk of getting a hip fracture because they're rushing to the bathroom in the middle of the night. That's key. Now, I had a male patient who is post prostatectomy secondary to cancer. So when that prostate was taken out, it disrupted some of the nerves in that area. Exactly. So he had almost continuous incontinence and couldn't control his flow.
Okay.
After he completed, we gave him 8 treatments as well, and he was able to control his urine and get to the bathroom. That is powerful.
That's I want to applaud, but it's not the time to applaud. But just imagine. So for those of you who have it's gone over its head, I'm gonna just break it down. Imagine you get up, you want to go to the bathroom, but you can't. You have no control. So therefore, and this is something that CareBag is proud of, and this is why one of the reasons why I started our mobile hygiene, and we want our office. I was at the store and I saw this little old man coming out of Publix. I'll never forget it. He had khaki pants, and you could see his pants were just wet. And he looked at me and he said, "I couldn't make it in time." And my heart broke. My heart just broke. And I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, this is unacceptable. I don't think some of the people that don't suffer from this don't know undergarments are extremely, extremely expensive. I know because we buy them for our clients at CareBag. We buy them for our elderly. We buy them for our moms that just had babies, or we buy them for families that have children with disabilities that, because we use them. They have them from teens to adults, from extra, extra small to extra, extra, extra large. So we have an array of sizes. So I know the cost of this. And to hear him tell me I couldn't make it in time, it broke my heart. And just imagine, and that's before I knew you, just imagine if anyone that is suffering were able to go ahead and say, you know what? I need to get down to this wellness center. I need to go ahead and find out how I can go ahead and help me. So when I did my research, because a lot of people tell me, oh, it's just part of life. Before this, it's part of life and this and that. But I went ahead and when I looked it up, one of the things that I love that people say, that this is not a normal part of aging. It's not a normal part of aging. Urinary incontinence increases with age. Is that correct?
It does.
It does increase with age, just like Dr. V said, your muscles, everything Luke gets, everything, our whole body. I don't want to use the word deteriorate because we're not deteriorating. What's that word that I'm looking for?
But as you age, things become less functional.
There you go.
Right? Just
That's
like your muscles start thinning because you have loss of home.
Yes.
Exactly. The same thing occurs in that area.
That's it. So they were saying for men, it's usually prostate problems. And they said for women now, it's usually caused by menopause. But they said for everyone, age-related changes such as weight gain, constipation can contribute to this. And but it is not normal. That is even though I knew that, reading it and seeing it lets you know if it's not normal, what can we do to make someone have a functioning life? Because my friend she's an older lady, she's I would say she's almost in her 80s now, coming into either in her early 80s or coming into her 80s. She can't go when I have functions. She wants to come. Roxy, I can't come. Or if I come, could you sit me near a bathroom? Honey, there's no bathroom in the hall. You're going to have to walk. I can't come. Imagine you being so afraid. That's like getting behind your car and you had an accident and you are so afraid you're not going to get back in the car again. You are stuck in your home. Your job, everything is in your home because you're too afraid to leave. That has happened now with incontinence for so many people. And nowadays, just imagine you're a social butterfly. You have now cocooned yourself until you can't do anything. So we wanted to go ahead and bring you this to let you know. So I want everyone to grab a pen. It's going to be on WPSL on our YouTube, and it's going to be on our social media. But we do have some people that don't do either. So that is why we want to give you that information. So the number to call, okay, I didn't bring my glasses. Go ahead.
484
484
626
626
1279.
1279.
And that's a Google Voice number. But if you want a local number, it's 561 768 9722.
And we're going to have that number again, and we're going to go ahead and repeat it so that you can have it, because we want you to know that they are options for you. Imagine that you have something happening and you know you can go someplace and you can get help, but we're going to come back to talk about how you can get the help, because this is the, so I'm just going to put it out there. I needed a good dentist, and I was looking and I couldn't find the dentist that I wanted, but I found one and it cost me to get on a plane. But what was good for me was I got on a plane and I went, and I was thoroughly happy with the service that I got. So if I want something for me and I know this is the best for me, you'll go where you need to go, because their cars, their transportation does not. We just had a conversation about transportation before we came on the radio show on a whole different matter. But if you want something good for you, there is no reason that you're not going to find it. And my analogy with the conversation I had, if somebody gave away tickets to see, I know the crowd I have, so if somebody gave away free tickets and if Frank Sinatra was still alive and you could go and see him, you couldn't have excuses for everything. But you know what? You're going to find your butt down wherever you need to go to get to that concert, because when you love something, you'll go. If your favorite politician was here, if your favorite singer was here, whoever it may be, you're going to find a way to go. And what I find amazing, we go and we do everything for everyone else, but when it comes to our health and when it comes to us, we put it on the back burner. We go ahead and we make excuses. Oh, next time. You need to put yourself first. We have 125 days until the year is over. If you are suffering, why not put yourself first? But we're going to come right back. We have a lot. I just want to put it out there. St. Lucie Jewelry and Coins. Hawk, I love you, I love you, I love you. Mr. Hawk has come on, and he is our presenting sponsor for our community baby shower, and we are ecstatic to have him. So I'm just going to give him a round of applause. Thank you so much. But we will be right back after these messages from our sponsors, because we could not do this show without them. Thank you, Cliff. Thinking of building your next home or renovating? Come see us at Grozer Builders. We will create a home suited for your lifestyle. With years of experience means we give you a complete professional service, from a dream to a concept. You will get the best results, best value, best quality is what you get from Grozer Builders. Visit us at grozerbuilders.com. You deserve better. You deserve Grozer. Create custom business signage that customers can't miss or resist. Let Design a Sign in Port St. Lucie help you get the job done right. Over 80 years combined experience. Get it right the first time. Call 772-337-4027 and tell them Roxy said to call. Remember, call 772-337-4020. Design a Sign in Port St. Lucie. If you could reimagine the way you buy a car, what would you do? Make it simple, make negotiations disappear, demand transparency, then experience amazing at your Treasure Coast Lexus dealer. Car Buying Simplified. Treasure Coast Lexus is a proud sponsor of Careology, caring and supporting for our community. Car Buying Simplified. Check out your Treasure Coast Lexus dealer.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
We now return to Careology, the science and art of caring. Once again, here's your host from CareBag Inc. It's Roxy Brown.
Thank you, Cliff. I just need to talk about our sponsors again. St. Lucie Jewelry and Coins, Hawk. with the family, with all his locations. Thank you so much. He has come on as our presenting sponsor, and also for our media sponsor, we have CBS, WPBF, Channel 25. We are so happy for them to come on. And our catering company is DSK Catering, and also Treasure Coast Lexus, and then Hearts Unfold Events and Planning. So for those of you who are going to be invited to go ahead and come on out, this event is basically for our moms to be, our newborns, and our infants. So I'm just going to put it out there for those of you who don't know or just need a little shock factor this morning. Under 25 of my moms are under the age of 18. In this day and age, I don't know how this is still happening, but it's happening. So I'm going to throw something else out to you also. For those of you who don't know, our HIV rates are up. We are in a health crisis, I think, more than the pandemic right now, and we want to go ahead and we want to train, we want to go ahead and educate these young ladies. So our event starts from 2 to 4 for our moms and babies only. They're going to be giving 2 hours of different resources that they can go ahead from mental to go ahead, just from the mental standpoint, just having to be a good mother. I am so tired of turning on my TV. I'm going to get on my high horse. Just give me 2 minutes, Dr. V. I am so tired of turning on my TV, opening my newspaper, opening my computer, and seeing that another child is dead because a mom didn't know what to do. In this day and age, August 28th to 2023, that is unacceptable. So we want to go ahead and in our community, and it starts from home. It starts from here. So we are going to have a wonderful event starting at 4 o'clock. But these moms to be, the moms that have their newborns, that have their infants, they are going to be educated and given the resources to know, you know what? I don't want this baby anymore. I'm going to have CareNet. I'm going to have adoption agencies there that if you know this is not what's for you, you have an avenue that you can go ahead and give your child to. You do not throw a child away. You do not kill a child, because that's what's happening. It happens so much until we are just sensitized to it. We hear it. Oh my goodness, that's so sad. When we used to first hear these things years and years ago, we used to cry. How could somebody ever do this? But it is such the normal now. And this is not normal, people. This is not normal. We're going to be talking to them about HIV. We're going to talk about lactation, breastfeeding, doulas. We're going to talk about everything they need to be a functioning, good mom. That is what we're going to do. Giving them the resources is invaluable. And we are having the best of the best in our community, vendors that are coming to go ahead and give them this information. The same way many of you at the sound of my voice did not know that CareBag has been around for 6 years. These young moms don't know because they're supposed to be in school. They're not supposed to be pregnant moms. They're supposed to be in school learning. But now they're going to, these babies are not having babies. So we now have to teach them that now, on top of you being a young mother, you have to go and raise a child raising a child. We want to equip them. These young babies that are being born are the youngest community members. And if we don't start doing something to teach abstinence, to go ahead and teach what not to do or what to do, it's going to get worse. So we're doing this October the 14th. And every mom that finishes their 2-hour resource course that we are having is being invited to our major baby shower. Hearts Unfold Events and Planning is making this oasis going to look as beautiful as you're giving it for a queen, a princess, for your own. We are going to treat them with so much love, and each mom is going to be going away with a beautiful baby caddy, not filled with stuffed with paper, filled and stuffed with what they need to go ahead and give them love. And this is where you as a community can come in. We want each basket, we would like everyone to donate $200 for a basket. This basket is going to have thermometers, it's going to have stuffed animals, it's going to have receiving blankets, it's going to have the temperature control, it's going to have baby food. Every mom that comes leaves with 1 box of Pampers. Pampers are $40 to $60 a box. We're not going to make a big we're not going to make that just that big indent that's okay, you can do this for a whole year. But my God, at least when you go home, you can say, okay, I can start loving my baby, holding my baby, and at least I have a start. We want to give them a start. And if you would like to go ahead and donate, every mom leaves with a basket. Our minimum right now is 75 moms. And they're coming from our agencies. Some of our moms are homeless. Some of our moms lives in shelters. Some of our moms are couch surfing. We are doing what we can for the moms that are suffering the most. This is not just any mom. These moms are receiving services from all the agencies through the Treasure Coast right here. And that's what we are doing. So anyone that wants to go ahead and participate, please, 772-222-7399, and that can go ahead. You can contact us, you can text us, and we can send you the information. If you want to go on Amazon and go and just put Care Bag Inc., you'll go ahead and our community baby shower will pop up, and we have a registrar list if you want to buy things to help us go into the baskets. So there are many ways, or if you want to buy stuff for yourself and just go and deliver it to us, we'll take anything, because we want every mom to get that basket of love. This is from our community. We have the city of Port St. Lucie has generously come on board as one of our sponsors, and it is going to be at the Port St. Lucie Community Center. So we're very thankful to them and to all our basket heroes that have come on so far. We are so grateful for you, and we're looking forward to this. I just needed to put that out there. And again, my volunteers, Miss Patty, our director of our outreach, we just want to say we thank you and we love you, because I could not do and we could not do what we will do without the help of our volunteers. So I just needed to go ahead and touch on that a little bit since we got back. But we're going to just jump right into the incontinence conversation that we're having, because I know it's important. And someone just texted me, I saw your text, and we are going to talk about that. A lot of urinary problems. They're like, Roxy, well, how'd the problem start? Well, the problems start by muscle weakness, which we talked about. It can start from prostate in men. It can start from women having children, too much children, or overgrown, or very big, blessed babies. Mm-hmm. But I was reading here, it can actually start from a stroke, diabetes, multiple sclerosis, just different things. So can you go ahead and just elaborate on that for us a little more, please?
Well, whenever you have a stroke, it's because there's been plaque buildup in your arteries. Mm-hmm. Now, this plaque buildup can affect many different areas, right? You can have a heart attack because of the plaque buildup. You can have a stroke because of the plaque buildup. You can have what we call peripheral artery disease, and you start getting toes and stuff amputated. And you can get plaque in any area that has blood flow, and that includes your perineum. Now, I have a testimony. I had a gentleman that came in, and he would have painful ejaculation, and that was because he had decreased blood flow to that area. So we treated him, again, 8 treatments, and he was able to then have a successful erection and ejaculation without pain. And that's because the Emsella chair actually increases angiogenesis, fancy word for increases the number of blood vessels going to that area, increases circulation, and
so
therefore
you have more
improves.
rapid blood flow.
You do.
See, some of you thought here Roxy didn't know all of that. So just let me let you know, there's a lot more to Roxy that you don't know. I'll share it with just a couple of my friends one day. Not all of you, just a couple. So it increases the rapid blood flow.
Yes.
So this is just not for incontinence only. This is for flow, period.
Yes. So men
I'm
who
thinking
have
something
erectile
here.
dysfunction
This is
or
for them.
premature ejaculation, it benefits them in those areas as well.
Treasure Coast, are you hearing this? Are you hearing this, Treasure Coast? So this chair is phenomenal. So this chair is like, it's like the Garden of Eden.
Yes.
That's what it's like.
I like it.
It's like, you're welcome. I come up with some good things. Hey, I came up with Care Bag, and that's been going good, pretty good. It's the more you talk, it's like the Garden of Eden. It's just refreshing of your soul. Just having a new lease on life.
Yes.
An opening up lease on life. Tell me more about this chair.
Okay, so
Because I want to come and sit in it too.
Yes, I invite everybody to come and sit on the chair.
I missed an opportunity because I didn't have a babysitter, but just coming and just knowing you have something that can just give you just that good lease on life. How many people at just any age are sitting there, oh, I don't want to do this, or I feel low, or my marriage isn't going up, something is not going well, because this is for men and women.
Men and women.
And the only thing you need is 8 treatments in a chair
Yes.
to go ahead and get your life on track. Sign me up. Let's talk.
95% of people who sit on this chair and complete the treatments have significant improvement in their quality of lives.
Wow.
Yes, 95%. And 75% of them get rid of those pads.
And it's expensive.
Yes.
It's very expensive. So you're looking at, let's say you get the top brand. Let's say you just get the top. See, time goes. My engineer's looking at me with 10 fingers up, trying to let me know I got 10 minutes. We got a lot to talk about, Cliff. I know, but I only got 10 minutes. So quality of life. We spend so much money on these pads, $50, $60, and that can last you maybe a month or half a month, depending on the problem, how significant your problem is. So compared to if you're, I don't have a calculator,
Yeah.
so say you're going ahead and you're spending $120 a month. So 120 times 12, you're looking at almost $13,000 for the year.
1440.
14. I was close. We're going to round it to 15. $15,000, and that's just a year. That's just a year. I don't know if I can. I should have asked permission before I asked, but hey, we're on live TV. We're on live radio. The cost that they would have to come to go ahead and do a session with you now, what does that equate to compared to what they're spending?
Well, the cost for the treatments that I'm offering is $1,800.
Okay.
Now, the treatments, they do what they need to do in terms of building up your pelvic floor and eliminating your incontinence. And those effects last 6 to 12 months. However, when my patients come in or my clients come in, I hate to say patients, but they are patients, technically. They come in and they actually complete the treatment, and that effect lasts 12 months. I continue to give them maintenance therapy thereafter.
That's like getting a new car.
Exactly.
Just like you get a new car, you're driving, but
and
you
you
need
have
an oil
X
change.
thumbs, exactly.
You need gas. Gas can get you where you got to go, but you got to stop for that maintenance.
Yes.
That reminds me, I need maintenance.
Yeah.
Hey, this is live. Anything can happen. So they go through that program now, and they finish that program. And because I'm 100%, stop me if I'm wrong, but I'm 100% sure when you see your quality of life has changed that dramatically, there's nothing that's going to stop you from continuing this.
No, not at all.
That's it. You're
going to come back, and
course.
because once you go to that gym and you build up that muscle, right, and you pumping up that tricep or that bicep, and you see all the arteries that develop in that big muscle, you're going to want to keep that muscle because you feel that confidence and that strength. Right? Your whole posture changes. I had a man who came in, stooped over, and he was actually straightened up a little bit after 6 or 8 treatments. Yes.
That blood flow.
Exactly.
That's it.
And it impacts all the muscles around the perineum, the thigh muscles, the buttocks, the lower abdomen. All these muscles get recruited. So you're getting building
beach
of
body.
muscle. Exactly.
I just thought, Cliff is laughing at me. I just think beach body. Hi, Jet. How you doing? I just think... For those of you who know Cliff, he's looking at me talking about beach body, but that's a whole nother show right there. But just imagine, I love what you said, the quality of life that you can get from just giving yourself that love. We spend so much money on so many different things, and that is something that I have stopped to, I say, when it comes to my health, I come first. And I keep telling, I talk to everyone here from our night show to our day show. You must put yourself first. Self-love is something someone cannot give you.
Absolutely.
Someone cannot give you and tell you you need to do this, you need to do that. You must have self-love. Good morning, Bella. You must have self-love. And when you are doing that for yourself, you can do more. So if you know you are one of these individuals, or you know someone that is suffering, and you know someone that needs this information, this is the time you share. My grandbaby loves to tell me, sharing is caring. Aww. And I'm going to she says it for an icy, but I'm going to use it anyway. Sharing is caring. And sharing that information with someone that you know they can have a better quality of life is what we want for them. I think that's important.
Yes, and one of the most important things that I stress to my clients is think about the cost to your life staying indoors because you want to be close to the bathroom,
Yes.
not socializing with your friends,
Yes.
living a reclusive life because of incontinence. The cost of the service is trivial compared to the cost to your quality of life, your social life, your mental health, because
outweighs it.
depression occurs when you're not involved in socialization.
Yes.
So all of these things you have to think about.
That's it. Is there anything else that you want to touch on before? Because we have 5 minutes left. Cliff keeps giving me the finger, guys, and the 5 fingers. Is there anything else that you want to touch on before our time expires?
Well, I just wanted to say that the product works, the chair works, and I run a hybrid practice of internal medicine, functional medicine, and other health and wellness services in my practice. I'm all about you achieving your optimal health with minimal invasion and with minimal big pharma involvement. Because there are a lot of healthy things that we can do to help our bodies.
Yes.
And we just don't know enough about them, or we're scared to ask about them, or we're nervous about actually jumping on the health and wellness holistic banner. We need to be more open. We need to actually take care of ourselves first. And we need to ask questions. There's no fear involved here. Yes, you might be a little bit intimidated about money, but there are ways around that. Just call and ask the question.
That's it.
We're
So
here.
you can't say it, so I'm going to say it. Pharmaceutical companies are here just to get your money. That's what it is about. Because this is what kills me. They have a commercial. I know I'm going off track a little bit, but I want to help you guys because sometimes you're not aware. When these commercials run, I need you to listen to the last portion that they speed up. The risk to death, incontinence, what did it call? Oh my God, heart attack, stroke, all these might be possible.
Yes.
First of all, if you know that these are a risk, why are you even offering it to make? And then 10, 20 years later, if you took this drug, Careology, please call us because you can get money from a lawsuit. People, wake up. Wake up. They are safe and healthy ways to go about getting the quality of life you need without having to pop a pill. Because there's so many reactions and so many just health benefits to doing things holistically for you. See, you might not have been able to say it, but I can. So, and I love to say that also. You know, don't your first answer for me is get this prescription. Don't do that to me. Help me find another way that I can do better in my life and I can be better and be healthier. And if you are suffering from this, we now have a way that you can be helped. So I'm going to have you go ahead and say your local number again for us, please.
Phipps Health and Wellness, 484-626-1279 or 561-768-9722.
Okay. Well, Dr. Phipps.
There you go.
Thank you very much. It has been such a pleasure.
Thank you.
And I know that somebody listening within our voice and listening somewhere there in Radio Land or on our social media platform in the over 40 plus countries that we go are listening. Because, you know, I have worked somewhere where I've had people fly in just to get their blood drawn, you know, and I used to say, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Saudi, I'm from here, I'm from there. And I used to be like, wow, you know, women wanting fertility clinic that I worked in. People will come anywhere when they know that there is something to benefit them.
Absolutely.
So anyone that is listening, we don't know where that blessing is going to come from, that you can bless somebody. But thank you again for being my guest on Careology. It was a pleasure to have you.
My
and
pleasure.
I learned so much. That's what I love about this. I learned so much. And we're going to have this on YouTube up tomorrow. We keep this on our social media site if you need more information. And it has been such a pleasure on Monday morning to spend it here with you. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys and talking to you guys next week. This is Roxy with Careology, and we are going to be back next week with a even more exciting information. And if you want to know anything about CareBag, please go to givecarebag.com and it will take you to our official website. If you need our services and you don't remember our number, just call 211, let them know what you're looking for in your area, and they will give you the resources that you need, and we will be one of them. So again, Thank you so much for tuning in, and have a beautiful rest of your week. Be productive. There are 125 days left in the year. What are you going to do to put something on your blank page? Have a wonderful, blessed day. God bless each and every one of you. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to Careology, the science of caring, presented by CareBag each and every Monday morning in the 10 o'clock hour following Swap Shop on Digital 1590 WPSL, the talk of the Treasure Coast.